cargo ship named the Grand Camps was about to create one of the worst disasters in Texas. This ship was carrying over 2,300 tons of chemical cargo, but not for long.
It was very strange. I'm really glad to be alive.
Reported along the docks was a very orangey smoke arising from the ship. People were worried about an explosion, and they were right.
This smoke was just a beautiful orange.
The explosion was very intense. People said the cause of the explosion was of the nitrates fumes. Many people were on the docks when it happened.
And for his life.
Passed a car in which two people had been decapitated. Then I passed one of the two little planes that had been flying around overhead, came down along the path that I took up into town.
I'm sure all of that glass came into us, and I must have gone like this. And so my arm was injured all in here.
Mary Hunter was also in the Monsanto plant. To this day, she still has shards of glass in her body.
I had it cut out of me. Luckily, it had lead in it. And therefore, when they x-rayed it, they could find the glass.
The water around the boat was so hot it was boiling. The explosion was so intense 900 miles away in Denver, it shocked them, thinking it was an earthquake. The explosion costed Texas over millions of dollars for repairs. Fatalities ranged from 450 to 1,200, but that wasn't it. A couple more explosions blasted Galveston. Many firefighters came from all cities to help put out the fire. Again, Jonathan M. Wainwright, hero of Baton, came to Texas and said, quote, "I have never seen a greater tragedy in all my experiences. I have come to offer this stricken community every facility that the Army can place at its disposal." During the chain of explosions, people watched in terror the explosion. Bodies were tossed around like playing cards, a reporter said for the Houston Chronicle. At the Monsanto chemical plant, fires still burning made it impossible to rescue people. After the two explosions, Coast Guards reported 1,000 people dead and from 200 to 350 injured. The blasts were so intense, 11 miles across the bay, windows and glasses were shattered. And in the end, fatalities were high, injuries were higher, and even many school children died.
Deal with myself to it for a while.
Even after the dead were buried, many survivors never talked about it again. But over the half-century since the explosion, they rebuilt their lives and their city. That must have been a hard thing to do, with so many memories around. Charles Hadlock, 11 News, Texas City.
The United States Army, the Red Cross, the Salvation Army, and many other agencies rushed to the scene to carry out relief work. All of the needs for those who were without homes and shelter were provided. The Army set up kitchens